Hey guys, wanted to go ahead and do a review of the Ziigaat Odyssey version 1 and to go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and put some notes on the screen. Please note that whatever is in the notes is a little bit different from what's in the video. The notes tend to go over in a lot more detail, but I'll shut up now and have some music in the background and you guys can check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the Ziigaat Odyssey. So a little bit of history. I actually already listened to this. I listened to this in Hi-Fi Con. There was actually Hi-Fi Con is almost like a mini Can Jam, but they actually had this there, and I listened to it. And my overall impression, and it's funny because when I look at my notes, my notes are right. So what I said was, it's the vocals are actually pretty good. The bass is pretty damn good, but it can get pretty spicy. And it gets very spicy. And that's actually the overall take of this IEM. So let's break it down. Okay, so let's talk the overall tuning. This is V-shaped, man. I mean, this is like, the bass is like boom, 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 and the treble is like a little bit accentuated. This is V-shaped. I mean, to me, this is pretty, this ain't neutral. I mean, this ain't bright per se. It is, to me, it sounds pretty damn V-shaped. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would say. All right, let's go over the grades. If I was going to give this a grade on bass, I would give this an A. Like, the bass is actually really good. Now, please note that I am not as particular with bass. I have a baseline. It's got to be at least a certain level of good. But to me, I thought this was actually really good. Like, really thumpy, really powerful bass. I mean, this is like Beats by Dre level of bass. And that goes to my next category. What is the sub bass on this? Well, dude, the sub bass on this is Beats by Dre. I mean, like, if this is correct, as in the sub bass in the background, like, is that supposed to be correct? This is like Beats by Dre. It's like, holy crap. It ain't neutral. It is absolutely exaggerated when it comes to sub bass. Okay, so what about female vocals? So female vocals are actually pretty good on here. I would actually give it, I would say it's like a B. It's a little bit slightly thin, but it's not thin. I wouldn't call it thin, but it's just slightly thin, like slightly thinner than what I'd like. But it's still pretty damn good. But I would notice it sounds slightly harsh at times, and it's slightly, you know what's the best way I can explain it? It's like if you were going to EQ like a recording of a microphone, right? It's like if someone just increased the treble a little bit. That's kind of how it sounds. It's a little sharp, a little crispy, but it's not sibilant. And that's actually something I want to talk about, is that vocally, okay, in terms of vocals, this is actually not where this IEM falls. Where this actually falls is instruments. And so there's that. So for female vocals, I would actually give this a grade of B. It is just ever so slightly thin. It is not full to my liking, but it's still, I would consider it good, as in a grade of B. Okay, so in terms of, now, I'm going to include this category. Because of this IEM, I had to add a new category, and this is called instrumentals. And now I have a new category added because of this IEM. This is a fail in instrumentals. So, you know, when I was playing Luna and at the instrument part, dude, this was unbearable to listen to. Like, it was absolutely unbearable. It was so painful when it comes to instruments. When I actually was playing the XG New Dance, there's this sound effect, and I'll go and play the video. That sound effect was unbearable when I was listening to this. So this is actually pretty damn harsh when it comes to instruments. So just something, it's funny because it's similar to the Pula Unicron. See, the Pula Unicron wasn't bad with vocals. It was instruments that was really harsh. So this IEM gets really harsh with instruments. Okay, male vocals, I think I'd have to give it a grade of A. Like, I thought it was actually, because it's better than good. It's actually pretty damn good. Like, I was listening to it, it's like the male vocals sound full. They don't sound thin. They don't sound pitched up. They don't sound pitched down. Nothing like that. They sound actually pretty good. I would actually say the male vocals are stronger than the female vocals on this thing. So I would actually say like the male. Now, I still would say for me, me personally, Ziigaat Lush has better male vocals in this. And although I would rank both of them like an A, I would say Ziigaat Lush is better than this. I would say Dunakima 2 is better than this. I would even say, I'm not trolling, I'm dead serious. The Kiwi Ears Bell. I'm talking the $20 Kiwi Ears Bell. That has better male vocals than this. But that one, as a $20 Chuck IEM, actually has good male vocals. I'm not kidding. It actually does have good male vocals. But this, actually, I would give it a grade of A. Like because it's not average and it's not just good. It's actually, because I've heard good IEMs with male vocals. This is better than good. I would definitely say this is a grade of A. But like I said, I feel like this IEM is genuinely, I'm being serious, it is a deal breaker because there were 2 songs that I flat out stopped listening to because the instruments were so unbearable in that song. Now, people are going to ask me, but you didn't tip roll. Dude, I already tip rolled before already. Like when I was in Hi-Fi Con. That's what I figured out, and same here. If it sounds this bad on just the stock ear tips, dude, that's enough information. Like, in my opinion, okay, now I know, now I'm going off a little bit off topic, but I want to talk about something. So there's a Ziigaat Odyssey 1, and the Ziigaat Odyssey 2. The Ziigaat Odyssey 2 basically dulls down all the harshness of this, but it overdid it. See, that one sounded like, everyone sounded lispy. It was like dulled down too much. Now the 1 is spicy. What you want, ideally, is something that's kind of in between 1 and 2, which is like something right in the middle would have been ideal. But anyway, let's now talk about the next thing. So Soundstage, it feels quite wide. Like actually it feels quite large. I was like just in all 3 tests that I did, it feels massively wide. I know my descriptors for Soundstage are not that good, but sometimes, like I said, when something makes a big impression on me, like I'll use simple words, but like, dude, it does have good Soundstage. Like I would say perceptively, like I was like, wow, that's pretty damn good. Okay, so here's what's interesting. So what I did was I next tested vocal sibilance, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a montage of what vocal sibilance means.
Found in season 7, episode 6 of Seinfeld.
Okay, so vocal sibilance basically means it's like male and female vocals that are harsh, and I wanted to test this out. Now the funny thing is, this actually didn't score bad with sibilance. It was actually pretty good. Like when I pressed it, it was like medium, never high, never painful, and never very high. It's not harsh with vocals. It's harsh with instruments. Same like the Pula Unicron. Because like I said, this was unbearable on the Luna track, and it was unbearable on the XG track when there's like this sound effect that comes in and it's like really harsh. So there's that. Comfort on these were actually, to me, I put average because it's not that it hurts. It's more that it really makes, at least my ears, it feels really plugged in. But that being said, I do have smaller ears, but it just feels like, whoa, it just feels really plugged in. But you could look at that as a positive because I noticed that like the sound of the streets, I couldn't hear it. I like it was like blocking out sound pretty well. So maybe something to consider, but overall, what are my 2 cents? I honestly think Truth or Pure at $80, I would take that over this. Because I think it's less harsh, it's smoother, the vocals are just as good. The bass is not as good. Okay, the bass is not as good, the soundstage is not as good, but my God, at least it's tolerable. Well, that's all I gotta say, and you guys have a great day. Okay, bye.